When communities encounter new technologies, foods that behave like dairy without coming from cows, proteins made by microbes, or agricultural systems that don't resemble anything described in Chazal, the question naturally arises: who decides how Halacha responds? And more deeply, how does Jewish law preserve its integrity when the world changes faster than any one text could have anticipated? The answer, from a rabbinic perspective, is both reassuring and inspiring. Halacha has always been built for this. Far from being brittle, it is a living structure guided by responsa literature, precedent, communal process, and a centuries-old model of halakhic leadership that thrives precisely at moments when technology accelerates. Responsa, Shi'ilat Uteshavat, form the backbone of halakhic adaptation. For more than 1,000 years, rabbis have responded to new technologies that seemed disruptive at the time: printing presses, microscopes, railroads, telegraphs, margarine, vaccines, pasteurization, refrigeration, genetically modified organisms, lab-made rennet, and synthetic wines. Every wave of innovation forced halakhic authorities to return to the sources, not mechanically, but interpretively, asking what principles from the text apply, where analogies hold, and how to weigh competing values such as safety, kashrut, dignity, livelihood, and communal stability. The brilliance of the responsa model is that it is both grounded and flexible. It draws from thousands of years of Torah interpretation, but it also honors the rabbi's obligation to understand the contemporary reality in full scientific detail. This is where Halacha gains strength in the face of technological change. The sources give the principles, and the responsa give the application. When new foods enter the market, precision-fermented casein, cultivated meat, synthetic fats, rabbinic decisors don't invent halacha anew. They reach into well-developed categories: Basar Bishalav, Marat Ayin, Sa'ir B'Ali Chayim, Birer, Tayam Kuakar, and the nature of human agency in creation. These categories aren't antiquated. They're designed for broad application. And because halacha is a principled system rather than a set of frozen rules, it can absorb novelty without fragmentation. Precedent plays a central role as well. Rabbinic authorities rarely make decisions in a vacuum. They look to earlier rulings not only for content, but for method. For example, when margarine first appeared in the 19th century, it looked exactly like butter, prompting concerns about Marat Ayin. The solution, required distinctive labeling or coloring, became a precedent for countless later cases where imitation foods resembled forbidden or restricted categories. When microbial rennet replaced animal rennet, Poskim studied how earlier halachists approached enzymes and transformation. When wine began to be pasteurized, Poskim evaluated older discussions of mavashal status and human handling. These precedents now offer a roadmap for novel foods today. Halacha thrives when it learns from its past, applying tested reasoning patterns to new realities. But perhaps the most vital part of this process is not the texts or the precedents alone. It is the rabbinic leadership that stewards them. In every generation, poskim work collaboratively, each contributing insight from their area of expertise. One may specialize in food chemistry, another in agricultural law, another in communal policy. Together they form a halakhic ecosystem, where diverse knowledge strengthens collective decision-making. This is especially important for novel foods, because understanding the technology is as essential as understanding the text. Halacha stands tallest when rabbis engage scientists, food technologists, manufacturers, and kashrut professionals, ensuring that rulings reflect both the halakhic sources and the scientific reality with equal rigor. Communal policy, too, is a crucial dimension. Rabbis are not just decisors, they are shepherds of communities. When novel foods appear, the halakhic question is often only the first layer. The second layer asks, how will this affect people's observance? Will it cause confusion? Will it undermine or enhance trust? What standards best support communal cohesion? Policies about labeling, supervision, dining hall practices, school guidelines, and restaurant protocols flow from this holistic perspective. Rabbinic leadership balances permissibility with clarity, ensuring that innovation strengthens rather than destabilizes the community. One of the most positive aspects of this model is that halacha does not fear technological advancement. It engages with it. When the world brings forth tools that reduce animal suffering, improve food safety, support environmental sustainability, or provide new paths for kosher production, rabbinic leadership sees opportunity as much as challenge. The halakhic process becomes a bridge between ancient wisdom and modern possibility, transforming new technologies into vehicles for ethical expression and communal growth. And importantly, halakhic consensus doesn't need to emerge instantly. The responsa tradition allows for a healthy diversity of views. Some rabbis may take cautious positions at first. Others may adopt more expansive interpretations based on different readings of precedent. Over time, as communities become familiar with the technology and its implications, halakhic norms crystallize. This dynamic process is not a sign of confusion, it is a sign of depth. It reflects a tradition confident enough in its foundations to deliberate with care. In the end, when technology outpaces text, Halacha does not fall behind. It rises to meet the moment. It does so through rigorous study, thoughtful analogy, scientific understanding, ethical sensitivity, and communal wisdom. The question, who decides, is answered not by one authority or one book, but by the entire halakhic system, its texts, its precedents, its scholars, and its communities working together. And far from straining halacha, the evolution of food technology may become one of the most powerful opportunities in our time for halakhic leadership to demonstrate how Judaism integrates timeless principles with a changing world. Innovation does not weaken the tradition. It gives halacha more ways to illuminate the path forward.